Which one of these shoes is the 700 V3 Alva and which one is the 700 V3 Dark Glow? That's right, in today's video I'm going to compare the differences between the Yeezy 700 V3 Alva and the Yeezy 700 V3 Dark Glow. And I'm also going to review the Dark Glows as well, because honestly, if I just compared the differences between the two shoes, it would be like a 2-minute video because there's like 2 differences. What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler, and today I'm comparing the differences between 2 shoes that looked almost exactly alike. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell down below if you haven't yet and you want to see more content just like this. And also don't forget to give me a follow on Instagram and on Twitter at RealSethFowler. First off though, I want to give a huge thank you to Statement, which is a sneaker store in the Cherry Hill Mall in New Jersey, for actually loaning me this pair of Alvas to compare with my pair of Dark Glows. And what's really cool is that we actually have a collaboration video coming out on their YouTube channel, so I'll make sure to link that in the description below. But they're an awesome store to check out, and if you guys want to grab the pair in this video, make sure to hit up the Statement store. But getting into the video, the Yeezy 700 V3 Alvas were the second colorway of the 700 V3s to release. They released last April 2020, and came in an almost entirely black colorway. And at the time, and I guess even up to the point of the release of the Dark Glows, the Alvas were one of the most coveted pairs of 700 V3s. And I mean, I can see why. If you love the 700 V3s, you can't go wrong with an all-black look. But this year on Yeezy Day 2021, Adidas and Yeezy decided to drop a new 700 V3 called the Dark Glows, which look, I mean, almost identical to the 700 V3 Alvas. I mean, these two shoes are almost completely indistinguishable. It's nuts. I mean, they look almost exactly the same except for 2 small differences. And we'll get to those differences in a bit, but I do have to say it's very weird for Adidas and Yeezy to release a sneaker that's almost exactly the same and call it something completely different, and not only that, also not hype it up at all. Like, I didn't even know the sneaker was dropping until the day before it released, and I look at sneakers every single day for my job. I mean, it completely blows my mind. It doesn't make sense to me. I know I always complain about Yeezy sneaker colorways looking the same, but this is ridiculous. The only reason that I could think that they would do this is purely for marketing. I mean, they released 2 different versions of the 350 V1s in the Pirate Black colorway and just called them the Pirate Black 2016s and the Pirate Black 2015s. This time around, they're changing arguably even less than the Pirate Blacks, and they're giving the shoe a completely different name. I know to some of you this seems like such a small and unimportant thing to make a video about, but as someone who's been complaining about Yeezy colorways for years, this is like the peak of Yeezy colorway similarity. I mean, it's ridiculous. But before we dive any deeper into the review and the comparison of the sneakers themselves, let's take a look at the boxes. So first off, let's take a look at the Yeezy 700 V3 Dark Glows box, which I grabbed directly off of Adidas' website for Yeezy Day, and I'm also using it in the $20 sneaker collection video. This is gonna be one of the shoes that we're gonna sell, so make sure to stay tuned for that. If you follow that series, I'll make sure to link it in the description below. This is a shoe that I didn't expect to win, and when I won it, I was like, that's crazy. I thought I was entering for the Alva restock, but no, it's a new pair of sneakers altogether. So as you can see, the box looks pretty much exactly the same as every other 700 box and pretty much every other recent Yeezy box. On the front of the box, you've got this very lopsidedly placed size sticker, and as you guys see, I went up a half size because these shoes do fit a little bit small, and the official colorway of the Dark Glows is Dark Glow, Dark Glow, Dark Glow. Same sort of situation on the Alvas. The box is almost identical. The only difference is, of course, the size, because they only had a size 10 in stock, and also the colorway, which is Alva, Alva, Alva. Other than that, the boxes are pretty much exactly the same. But with the box out of the way, let me give you guys a review of the Dark Glows, just in case you've never seen this sneaker before. But I will say, if you've watched my review of the Alvas, you pretty much know exactly what the sneaker is about. So the 700 V3 Dark Glows come in this mix of blacks and dark grays. Around the toe of the sneaker, you've got this rubber mudguard or toe panel. Then as you move back on the sneaker, you'll notice that a majority of the upper is covered in this black mesh, which is actually called monofilament engineered mesh. It's kind of just like a thin plasticky mesh, and what's nice about this mesh is that they can actually weave patterns into it. So you see that you've got this sort of gray linear pattern that almost looks like it has the Adidas 3 stripes in it, but not really. On top of the monofilament engineered mesh, you've got this RPU midfoot cage, which has a very skeletal look to it and definitely looks like a sort of alien foot, which I thought was kind of interesting the first time I saw this shoe. As you all know, the name of this colorway is Dark Glow, and of course that references the glowing midfoot cage or the glowing RPU cage on the side of the sneaker. Then moving up in the center of the shoe, you've got this black tongue, which is actually part of an internal booty construction. You've also got these 3M hits on either side of the toe. They're kind of hard to see see, and you can only really see them when you're looking down on top of the sneaker, which is kind of an interesting touch. It doesn't really do much for me, and in fact on my pair it actually looks like they're pretty lopsided, which is kind of frustrating. Weaving over top of the tongue, you've got these black rope laces, which as you guys can see are connected at the top, which creates sort of an infinity lacing system. And the cool thing about this lacing system is that in order to tie the shoe, all you have to do is pull up on the laces, which I actually kind of dig. It also means that you're not going to have this bow on top of your sneakers whenever you tie the laces, because there aren't any ends to the laces to flop around or be a bow. Then moving inside the sneaker, you've got this black, pretty nicely padded sock liner, as well as a black insole that features the Adidas and Yeezy branding printed on the heel. As far as sizing and fit goes with the Yeezy 700 V3 Dark Glows, the fit of this sneaker is pretty much identical to any other pair of 700 V3s, which, like I mentioned earlier, is a little bit small. So if you're grabbing a pair of these, I definitely recommend going up at least half a size, because if you grab your true size, it's really not going to fit very well. It's a very tight sneaker. Then moving around to the back of the sneaker, you've got more of this RPU cage and more of that monofilament engineered mesh. And then moving down on the sneaker, you've got this really nicely sculpted dark gray foam midsole. I really love the sort of organic and modern feel that this midsole has. It gives the sneaker a very cool, sleek look. And when you pair this midsole with this crazy, organic, alien-looking upper, it makes the shoe look like it's from 2040. Then finally moving to the bottom of the sneaker, you've got this black rubber outsole with this nice herringbone traction pattern. And as you all can see, there's actually these punch outs through to the midsole cushioning, which unfortunately is just EVA and not Boost. Another thing that's kind of interesting about the 700 V3s is that they change up the color of this internal foam depending on the colorway. But now that we've done a review of the Dark Glows, let's compare them to the Alvas, even though there's not really that much to compare. So the first of the two differences between these two shoes are the laces. And you might be saying to yourself, they don't look that different. Well, they're not. The only difference is that the Dark Glows come with an infinity lacing system, which we talked about in the review, and the Alvas come with a standard set of laces with wax dip tips. That is the only difference there. So initially when I unboxed the Dark Glows, I assumed that something about these sneakers would be different, like maybe the color of the gray would be slightly different, or the black used on the upper would be slightly different. But as you can see, the color of these gray accents are almost exactly the same, if not exactly the same. The blacks and the grays are all the same throughout the sneaker. Even the foam that they used for the midsole cushioning is the exact same shade of yellow. The main and really the only noticeable difference between these two shoes is the midfoot cage, and that's that the color that they glow is slightly different. I mean, I guess when you look at them side by side, the Dark Glows midfoot cage looks a little bit darker and a little bit more blue, and the Alvas looks a little bit lighter and a little bit more greenish yellow. But really, unless you're seeing these shoes in the dark after they've been charged up, they look exactly the same. So obviously the Dark Glow 700 V3s have a very dark sort of bluish glow, which is actually pretty difficult to charge. It took me a long time to charge this sneaker to see any glow at all, whereas the Alvas have a much more green glow that's actually very easy to charge, and you can see pretty quickly after charging them. And that is really the only difference. Oh, there is one more difference, and that's the resale price. The Alvas go for a little bit more because they're older, and the Dark Glows go for less because they're newer. There you go, that's it. So I guess if you're gonna take away anything from this video, if you've been looking to grab a pair of Alvas for a long time and you just haven't pulled the trigger yet, grab a pair of Dark Glows, because they look exactly the same unless you're in the dark. I mean, how often are you going to be wearing these shoes in a place where they actually glow and the glow is strong enough for you to be able to see it? I mean, you're probably going to save yourself at least $50 to $100. I don't know if the Alva price is going to drop because these look so similar, but I would expect that it will a little bit. So you're going to save some money if you grab the Dark Glows. And in my opinion, I actually like the bluer glow better. However, I don't like that it's not a very strong glow. The Alvas aren't a bad shoe. I don't think there's anything wrong with them, but they're more expensive and they look almost identical. So why would you spend the money on these? So I guess that's sort of the abrupt end of this video. Let me know in the comment section down below which one of these two shoes you like better and which glow you like better, whether you like the blue or the green glow better. I honestly think most people will say the green glow because it's brighter and it's more classic, but at the end of the day, I don't think it really matters that much. But still, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.